Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. So this has been super highly requested ever since I mentioned it, so I felt like today was the perfect day to film this video. Today we are going to be making, if you can tell by the ingredients, peppermint bark. This is a really simple recipe. It's super easy. It's a no-bake recipe also, so that's just awesome in itself. But I'm going to run through real quick, tell you everything that you're going to need to make this peppermint bark with, and then we will get to making it. So the first thing you're going to need is parchment paper. This is basically just so your peppermint bark, once you have like the melted chocolate, it doesn't stick to your surface that you are laying it on. Next you will need some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and as well as white chocolate chips. In this cute little jar, I just have a ton of peppermint. You can actually use as many candy canes as you want. I'm not really sure how many I'm gonna use yet, so I just brought the whole jar over here. And then a glass bowl to heat your chocolates in. And you also will need a pan of some sort. This is just what I'm gonna be using today. It's just a glass casserole dish. That's basically all you're gonna need for this recipe. It's super simple, and I'm really excited to show you all how to make it. So the first things first is melting our chocolate. You personally do not have to use semi-sweet. If you prefer dark chocolate, you can totally use that. Or if you want your peppermint bark a little sweeter, you can use milk chocolate. So I'm just gonna open this up and we're gonna pour it into our glass bowl, and then we're gonna just microwave it in 30-second intervals until it is fully melted. So while our chocolate is melting, I did want to mention that this is only gonna make probably a small amount. If you wanna make it for a party, or you have more people in your family, or you just wanna make a bigger batch, you can use actually 2 bags of each type of chocolate. Okay, so since this is finished with the first 30-second interval, we're now going to stir it. And now we're gonna pop it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds. So while we're waiting for the chocolate to heat up, we're actually gonna go ahead and line our pan with our wax paper, just to go ahead and get this out of the way, because we eventually will be pouring the chocolate into the pan. We're just gonna cut about enough just to fit the pan, and just kind of push it in here. It's not obviously gonna stay until there's something holding it down, but this is basically what it should look like right now. Chocolate is out of the microwave for the second time. We're gonna give it a little stir. And melting chocolate can take quite a bit of time. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but you don't want it to burn. But obviously mine's not even like melted yet, but you just don't want to overcook it, because then it will have a bad taste. Guys, I think we are good. It has melted perfectly. Look at that. Okay, so chocolate is melted. We've already lined our pan with parchment paper or wax paper. Now we are going to just pour the chocolate onto the pan, and then we're just gonna pop it into the freezer. You also can pop it into the fridge if you have more time. For the sake of filming, we're just gonna pop it into the freezer. Okay, so my next step is no one's favorite step, unless you enjoy this. I'm going to actually wash this out, and as well as the spatula, so I can reuse this, because our next step is going to be melting white chocolate, and I don't really feel like messing up a ton of dishes, so it's just gonna be easier just to wash this one, and we can just keep on rolling. I'm gonna start washing this, and hopefully by the time I've done that, we can start melting the white chocolate, and maybe by the time this is done, the semi-sweet chocolate will be hardened completely. Okay, so since that is finished, we have already washed the dishes, and I do not think the chocolate is done yet. We're gonna go ahead and start melting our white chocolate. I just checked on the semi-sweet chocolate. It is almost finished. It is still a little tacky. It does need to set a little longer, so we're just gonna keep it in there. White chocolate just finished its first round. I'm gonna give it a little stir. So the white chocolate is melting a little faster than the semi-sweet chocolate did. I don't really know why, but it is. hot. This thing is getting warm. Chocolate is melted, yay. So I'm just gonna give this a little stir. I did wanna ask you guys, do you enjoy these cooking with Kayla videos? If you do, let me know down below. And should I start making this a regular series on my channel? Would you guys like to see me start cooking and baking more on this channel? Let me know down below. I've always enjoyed cooking and it's always been something I've loved. Also, this week has been super crazy. I haven't posted as much this week. That is just because I'm resting up, because I know in a few weeks Vlogmas kicks off and I will be posting daily on that. So just trying to take a little break, take it slow, because I know once December 1st hits, we will be in full swing of daily videos, and I know a lot of you are probably excited about that. If you guys have another cooking video you would like to see, or a baking video, or something of this sort, comment down below. Let me know what I should make next, and if I use that recipe, I will give you guys a shout out in the video. I think while I'm waiting, I might go ahead and start crushing up some peppermint, so that will be already finished. I think that sounds like a good idea. So I'm gonna go get a Ziploc bag, because that is something you will need for this. And I'm gonna start unwrapping candy canes, which is literally probably the worst part of this recipe because candy cane wrappers always stick. So let's start crushing up some candy cane. I'm gonna grab a Ziploc bag. I am going to start unwrapping candy canes. You can use as many as you would like. I know some people actually use a whole 12 pack for this, or you don't have to use that many. So I think I'm just gonna start off with about 5 or 6. I'm going to start unwrapping these, and you're basically just gonna put these candy canes into a Ziploc bag after they're unwrapped. And I do not have a rolling pin, so I'm just gonna use a spoon. Pretty much you're just gonna crush up the candy cane like this. Really simple. Like I said, the hardest part's gonna be unwrapping the candy canes. Okay, thankfully that job is complete. I literally hate unwrapping candy canes, so thankfully that job is complete. We're gonna take the spoon and just start crushing them up. Make sure you get all of the air out of the bag so you don't have like a complete disaster. So the chocolate has to be finished by now, so I'm just gonna go check it, and if it's not, we're just gonna keep rolling with it. It is solid. We have one big solid piece of chocolate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure we do not get any of the wax paper in here. Some of my wax paper did kind of flip inward while it was hardening. So as you can tell, there's a little bit of a curl on the edge, but it's okay. So now I'm gonna take the white chocolate and pour on top. We're not gonna put the bark right back in the refrigerator because we need the white chocolate to still be melted when we put the candy canes on top. Then once we sprinkle the candy cane on top, we will put it back in the freezer. Okay, so there is our top layer of chocolate. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna take the peppermint, and you can use your hands or you can just use the spoon that you used. I'm just going to do this. Candy canes are super sticky. So now we're basically just going to sprinkle this on top of the peppermint bark while the white chocolate is still melted. And honestly, I think 5 peppermints was plenty for this recipe. We're going to now take this, put it into the freezer. Okay, so we just got the peppermint bark out of the freezer, and this is what it looks like. It looks so good. It is freezing though. What we're gonna do now is we're going to start by cutting it. You can cut it however you like. You can cut it in perfect squares. You can cut it into big pieces, small pieces. For storing the peppermint bark, I'm just going to actually use this tin right here that we have. It's super Christmassy, and I think it is perfect for this. So if you enjoyed this recipe and you end up trying this, make sure you leave me a comment down below. This is honestly the perfect amount of peppermint bark to me because we love to bake a bunch of different things throughout the holiday. If this was not enough peppermint bark, like I said, you're going to a party or something, you obviously can double the recipe. But I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you leave me a comment down below. Let me know if there's any other recipes or anything you would like for me to bake, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.